Songs of Travel, and Other Verses **** transcribed from the 1908 Chatto and Windus edition by David Price. Email ccx074@pglaf.org. Songs of Travel and Other Verses by Robert Louis Stevenson. Chatto and Windus logo, 8th impression, London. Chatto and Windus, 1908. The following collection of verses, written at various times and places, principally after the author's final departure from England in 1887, was sent home by him for publication some months before his death. He had tried them in several different orders and under several different titles, as Songs and Notes of Travel, Posthumous Poems, etc., and in the end left their naming and arrangement to the present editor, with the suggestion that they should be added as Book 3 to future editions of Underwood's. This suggestion it is proposed to carry out, but in the meantime, for the benefit of those who possess Underwood's in its original form, it has been thought desirable to publish them separately in the present volume. They have already been included in the Edinburgh edition of the author's works. SC Contents: I. The Vagabond, Give to Me the Life I Love. 2. Youth and Love, I. Once Only by the Garden Gate. 3. Youth and Love, 2. To the Heart of Youth the World is a Highway. Side 4. In Dreams, Unhappy, I behold you stand. V. She rested by the broken brook. 6. The Infinite Shining Heavens. 7. Plain as the glistering planets shine. 8. To You, Let Snows and Roses. 9. Let Beauty awake in the morn from beautiful dreams. X. I know not how it is with you. 11. I will make you brooches and toys for your delight. 12. We have loved of your buried break and reedy island. 13. Mater triumphans, son of my woman's body, you go to the drum and fife. 14. Bright is the ring of words. 15. In the highlands, in the country places. 16. Home no more home to me, whither must I wander? 17. Winter, in rigorous hours, when down the iron lane. 18. The stormy evening closes now in vain. 19. To Dr. Hake, in the beloved hour that ushers day. XX. To I knew thee strong and quiet like the hills. XZ. The morning drum call on my eager ear. XZ. I have trod the upward and downward slope. 23. He hears with gladdened heart the thunder. XZ. Farewell, fair day and fading light. XXV. If this were faith, God, if this were enough. XXV. My wife, trusty, dusky, vivid, true. XXAE. To the muse, resign the rhapsody, the dream. XXVIII. To an island princess, since long ago, a child at home. XX. To Calais Cora, the Sliver ship, my king, that was her name. XXX. To Princess Kaiulani, fourth form her land to mine she goes. XXI. To Mother Mary Ann, to see the infinite pity of this place. XXI. In memoriam EH. I knew a silver head was bright beyond compare. XXXII. To my wife, long must elapse ere you behold again. XXIV. To my old familiars, do you remember, can we e'er forget? XXXV. The tropics vanish, and meseems that I xxxv. To sc. I heard the pulse of the besieging sea xxxae. The house of Tembinoka, let us, who part like brothers, part like bards xxxate. The woodman, in all the grove, not stream nor bird xxx. Tropic rain, as the single pang of the blow, when the metal is mingled well excel. An end of travel, let now your soul in this substantial world xli. We uncommiserate pass into the night xli. Sing me a song of a lad that is gone xlii. To Sr. Crockett, blows the wind today, and the sun and rain are flying xliv. Even song, the embers of the day are red-eye, the vagabond, to an air of Schubert, give to me the life I love, let the lave go by me, give the jolly heaven above and the byway nigh me. Bed in the bush with stars to see, bread I dip in the river, there's the life for a man like me, there's the life forever. Let the blow fall soon or late, let what will be o'er me, give the face of earth around and the road before me. Wealth I seek not, hope nor love, nor a friend to know me, all I seek, the heaven above and the road below me. Or let autumn fall on me where afield I linger, silencing the bird on tree, biting the blue finger. White as meal the frosty field, warm the fireside haven, not to autumn will I yield, not to winter even. Let the blow fall soon or late, let what will be o'er me, give the face of earth around, and the road before me. Wealth I ask not, hope nor love, nor a friend to know me, all I ask, the heaven above and the road below me. 2. Youth and love, I once only by the garden gate our lips we joined and parted. I must fulfill an empty fate and travel the uncharted. Hail and farewell. I must arise, leave here the fatted cattle, and paint on foreign lands and skies my odyssey of battle. The untented cosmos my abode, I pass, a wilful stranger, my mistress still the open road and the bright eyes of danger. Come ill or well, the cross, the crown, the rainbow or the thunder, I fling my soul and body down for God to plough them under. 3. Youth and love, 2. To the heart of youth the world is a highway side. Passing forever, he fares, and on either hand, deep in the garden's golden pavilions hide, nestle in orchard bloom, and far on the level land call him with lighted lamp in the eventide. Thick as the stars at night when the moon is down, pleasures assail him. He to his nobler fate fares, and but waves a hand as he passes on, cries but a wayside word to her at the garden gate, sings but a boyish stave and his face is gone. For in dreams, unhappy, I behold you stand as heretofore, the unremembered tokens in your hand avail no more. No more the morning glow, no more the grace, enshrines, endears. Cold beats the light of time upon your face and shows your tears. He came and went. Perchance you wept a while and then forgot. Ah me! But he that left you with a smile forgets you not. She rested by the broken brook, she drank of weary well, she moved beyond my lingering look, ah, whither none can tell. She came, she went. In other lands, perchance in fairer skies, her hands shall cling with other hands, her eyes to other eyes. She vanished. In the sounding town, will she remember too? Will she recall the eyes of brown as I recall the blue? 6. The infinite shining heavens rose, and I saw in the night uncountable angel stars showering sorrow and light. I saw them distant as heaven, dumb and shining and dead, and the idle stars of the night were dearer to me than bread. Night after night in my sorrow the stars stood over the sea, till lo! I looked in the dusk and a star had come down to me. 7. Plain as the glistering planets shine when winds have cleaned the skies, her love appeared, appealed for mine, and wantoned in her eyes. Clear as the shining tapers burned on Cythera's shrine, those brimming, lustrous beauties turned, and called and conquered mine. The beacon lamp that hero lit no fairer shone on sea, no plainlier summoned will and wit, than hers encouraged me. I thrilled to feel her influence near, I struck my flag at sight. Her starry silence smote my ear like sudden drums at night. I ran as, at the cannon's roar, the troops the ramparts man, as in the holy house of yore the willing Eli ran. Here, lady, lo! That servant stands you picked from passing men, and should you need nor heart nor hands he bows and goes again. 8. To you, let snow and roses and golden locks belong. These are the world's enslavers, let these delight the throng. For her of duskier lustre whose favour still I wear, the snow be in her kirtle, the rose be in her hair. The hue of highland rivers careering, full and cool, from sable on to golden, from rapid on to pool, the hue of heather honey, the hue of honeybees, shall tinge her golden shoulder, shall gild her tawny knees. 9. Let beauty awake in the morn from beautiful dreams, beauty awake from rest. Let beauty awake, for beauty's sake in the hour when the birds awake in the break and the stars are bright in the west. Let beauty awake in the eve from the slumber of day, awake in the crimson eve. In the day's dusk end when the shades ascend, let her wake to the kiss of a tender friend to render again and receive. I know not how it is with you, I love the first and last, the whole field of the present view, the whole flow of the past. One tittle of the things that are, nor you should change nor I, one pebble in our path, one star in all our heaven of sky. Our lives, and every day and hour, one symphony appear, one road, one garden, every flower and every bramble dear. 11. I will make you brooches and toys for your delight of bird song at morning and star shine at night. I will make a palace fit for you and me of green days in forests and blue days at sea. I will make my kitchen, and you shall keep your room, where white flows the river and bright blows the broom, and you shall wash your linen and keep your body white in rainfall at morning and dewfall at night. And this shall be for music when no one else is near, the fine song for singing, the rare song to hear. That only I remember, that only you admire, of the broad road that stretches and the roadside fire. 12. We have loved of yore, to an air of Diabelli, buried brake and reedy island, heaven below, and only heaven above, through the sky's inverted azure softly swam the boat that bore our love. Bright were your eyes as the day, bright ran the stream, bright hung the sky above. Days of April, airs of Eden, how the glory died through golden hours, and the shining moon arising, how the boat drew homeward filled with flowers. Bright were your eyes in the night, we have lived, my love, oh, we have loved, my love. Frost has bound our flowing river, snow has whitened all our island break, and beside the winter faggot Joan and Darby doze and dream and wake. Still, in the river of dreams swims the boat of love, hark! Chimes the falling oar. And again in winter evens when on firelight dreaming fancy feeds, in those ears of aged lovers love's own river warbles in the reeds. Love still the past, O my love. We have lived of yore, oh, we have loved of yore. 13. Mater triumphans, son of my woman's body, you go, to the drum and fife, to taste the color of love and the other side of life, from out of the dainty the rude, the strong from out of the frail, eternally through the ages from the female comes the male. The 10 fingers and toes, and the shell-like nail on each, the eyes blind as gems and the tongue attempting speech, impotent hands in my bosom, and yet they shall wield the sword. Drugged with slumber and milk, you wait the day of the Lord. Infant bridegroom, uncrowned king, unanointed priest, soldier, lover, explorer, I see you nuzzle the breast. You that grope in my bosom shall load the ladies with rings, you, that came forth through the doors, shall burst the doors of kings. 14. Bright is the ring of words when the right man rings them, fair the fall of songs when the singer sings them. Still they are carolled and said, on wings they are carried, after the singer is dead and the maker buried. Lo, as the singer lies in the field of heather, songs of his fashion bring the swains together. And when the west is red with the sunset embers, the lover lingers and sings and the maid remembers. 15. In the highlands, in the country places, where the old plain men have rosy faces, and the young fair maidens quiet eyes, where essential silence cheers and blesses, and forever in the hill recesses her more lovely music broods and dies. O to mount again where erst I haunted, where the old red hills are bird enchanted, and the low green meadows bright with sward, and when even dies, the million tinted, and the night has come, and planets glinted, lo, the valley hollow lamp bestarred. O to dream, O to awake and wander there, and with delight to take and render, through the trance of silence, quiet breath, lo! For there, among the flowers and grasses, only the mightier movement sounds and passes, only winds and rivers, life and death. 16. To the tune of Wandering Willie, home no more home to me, whither must I wander? Hunger my driver, I go where I must. Cold blows the winter wind over hill and heather, thick drives the rain, and my roof is in the dust. Loved of wise men was the shade of my roof tree. The true word of welcome was spoken in the door, dear days of old, with the faces in the firelight, kind folks of old, you come again no more. Home was home then, my dear, full of kindly faces, home was home then, my dear, happy for the child. Fire and the windows bright glittered on the moorland, song, tuneful song, built a palace in the wild. Now, when day dawns on the brow of the moorland, lone stands the house, and the chimney stone is cold. Lone let it stand, now the friends are all departed, the kind hearts, the true hearts, that loved the place of old. Spring shall come, come again, calling up the moorfowl, spring shall bring the sun and rain, bring the bees and flowers, red shall the heather bloom over hill and valley, soft flow the stream through the even flowing hours, fair the day shine as it shone on my childhood, fair shine the day on the house with open door, birds come and cry there and twitter in the chimney, but I go forever and come again no more. 17. Winter in rigorous hours, when down the iron lane the redbreast looks in vain for hips and haws, lo, shining flowers upon my window pane the silver pencil of the winter draws. When all the snowy hill and the bare woods are still, when snipes are silent in the frozen bogs, and all the garden garth is whelmed in mire, lo, by the hearth, the laughter of the logs, more fair than roses, lo, the flowers of fire. Saranac Lake. 18. The stormy evening closes now in vain, loud wails the wind and beats the driving rain, while here in sheltered house with fire painted walls, I hear the wind abroad, I hark the calling squalls, blow, blow I cry, you burst your cheeks in vain. Blow, blow I cry, my love is home again. Yon ship you chase perchance but yesternight bore still the precious freight of my delight, that here in sheltered house with fire painted walls, now hears the wind abroad, now harks the calling squalls. Blow, blow I cry, in vain you rouse the sea, my rescued sailor shares the fire with me. 19. To Dr. Hake, on receiving a copy of verses, in the beloved hour that ushers day, in the pure dew, under the breaking grey, one bird, ere yet the woodland choirs awake, with brief reveille summons all the brake, chirp, chirp, it goes, nor waits an answer long, and that small signal fills the grove with song. Thus on my pipe I breathed a strain or two, it scarce was music, but 'twas all I knew. It was not music, for I lacked the art, yet what but frozen music filled my heart. Chirp, chirp, I went, nor hoped a nobler strain, but heaven decreed I should not pipe in vain, for, lo! Not far from there, in secret dale, all silent, sat an ancient nightingale. My sparrow notes he heard, thereat awoke, and with a tide of song his silence broke. XX. To dash I knew thee strong and quiet like the hills, I knew thee apt to pity, brave to endure, in peace or war a Roman full equipped, and just I knew thee, like the fabled kings who by the loud sea-shore gave judgment forth, from dawn to eve, bearded and few of words. What was I to honor thee? A child, a youth in ardor but a child in strength, who after virtue's golden chariot wheels runs ever panting, nor attains the goal. So thought I, and was sorrowful at heart. Since then my steps have visited that flood along whose shore the numerous footfalls cease, the voices and the tears of life expire. Thither the prints go down, the hero's way trod large upon the sand, the trembling maids, Nimrod that wound his trumpet in the wood, and the poor, dreaming child, hunter of flowers, that here his hunting closes with the great, so one and all go down, nor aught returns. For thee, for us, the sacred river waits, for me, the unworthy, the perfect friend, their blame desists, There his unfaltering dogs he from the chase recalls, and homeward rides, yet praise and love pass over and go in. So when, beside that margin, I discard my more than mortal weakness, and with thee through that still land unfearing I advance, if then at all we keep the touch of joy thou shalt rejoice to find me altered, O Felix, to behold thee still unchanged. XXI The morning drum call on my eager ear thrills unforgotten yet, the morning dew lies yet undried along my field of noon. But now I pause at whiles in what I do, and count the bell, and tremble lest I hear, my work untrimmed, the sunset gun too soon. XXII I have trod the upward and the downward slope, I have endured and done in days before, I have longed for all, and bid farewell to hope, and I have lived and loved, and closed the door. 23 He hears with gladdened heart the thunder peal, and loves the falling dew, he knows the earth above and under, sits and is content to view. He sits beside the dying ember, God for hope and man for friend, content to see, glad to remember, expectant of the certain end. Xiv Farewell, fair day and fading light. The clay-born here, with westward sight, marks the huge sun now downward soar. Farewell. We twain shall meet no more. Farewell. I watch with bursting sigh my late contemned occasion die. I linger useless in my tent, farewell, fair day, so foully spent. Farewell, fair day. If any God at all consider this poor clod, he who the fair occasion sent prepared and placed the impediment. Let him divine a vengeance take, give me to sleep, give me to wake girded and shod, and bid me play the hero in the coming day. XXV, if this were faith God, if this were enough, that I see things bare to the buff and up to the buttocks in mire, that I ask nor hope nor higher, nut in the husk, nor dawn beyond the dusk, nor life beyond death, God, if this were faith. Having felt thy wind in my face spit sorrow and disgrace, having seen thine evil doom in Golgotha and Khartoum, and the brutes, the work of thine hands, fill with injustice lands and stain with blood the sea, if still in my veins the glee of the black night and the sun and the lost battle, run, if, an adept, the iniquitous lists I still accept with joy, and joy to endure and be withstood, and still to battle and perish for a dream of good, God, if that were enough. If to feel, in the ink of the slough, and the sink of the mire, veins of glory and fire run through and transpierce and transpire, and a secret purpose of glory in every part, and the answering glory of battle fill my heart, to thrill with the joy of girded men to go on forever and fail and go on again, and be mauled to the earth and arise, and contend for the shade of a word and a thing not seen with the eyes, with the half of a broken hope for a pillow at night that somehow the right is the right and the smooth shall bloom from the rough, Lord, if that were enough. XXVI, my wife trusty, dusky, vivid, true, with eyes of gold and bramble dew, steel true and blade straight, the great artificer made my mate. Honor, anger, valor, fire, a love that life could never tire, death quench or evil stir, the mighty master gave to her. Teacher, tender, comrade, wife, a fellow farer true through life, heart whole and soul free the august Father gave to me. Xxae, to the muse resign the rhapsody, the dream, to men of larger reach, be ours the quest of a plain theme, the piety of speech. As monkish scribes from morning break toiled till the close of light, nor thought a day too long to make one line or letter bright, we also with an ardent mind, time, wealth, and fame forgot, our glory in our patience find and skim the pot, till last, when round the house we hear the even song of birds, one corner of blue heaven appear in our clear well of words. Leave it then, muse of my heart. Song finish and song frame, leave unadorned by needless art the picture as it came. Xxate, to an island princess since long ago, a child at home, I read and longed to rise and roam, where'er I went, waiter I willed, one promised land my fancy filled. Hence the long roads my home I made, tossed much in ships, have often laid below the uncurtained sky my head, rain deluged and wind buffeted, and many a thousand hills I crossed and corners turned, love's labor lost, till, lady, to your Isle of Sun I came, not hoping, and, like one snatched out of blindness, rubbed my eyes, and hailed my promised land with cries. Yes, lady, here I was at last, here found I all I had forecast, the long roll of the sapphire sea that keeps the land's virginity, the stalwart giants of the wood laden with toys and flowers and food, the precious forest pouring out to compass the whole town about, the town itself with streets of lawn, loved of the moon, blessed by the dawn, where the brown children all the day keep up a ceaseless noise of play, play in the sun, play in the rain, nor ever quarrel or complain, and late at night, in the woods of fruit, hark! Do you hear the passing flute? I threw one look to either hand, and knew I was in fairyland. And yet one point of being so I lacked. For, lady, as you know, whoever by his might of hand, one entrance into fairyland, found always with admiring eyes a fairy princess kind and wise. It was not long I waited, soon upon my threshold, in broad noon, gracious and helpful, wise and good, the fairy princess most stood. 44, Tantira, Tahiti, the 5th of November, 1888. 6. To Kalekora, with a present of a pearl, the silver ship, my king, that was her name in the bright islands whence your fathers came. 45. The silver ship, at rest from winds and tides, below your palace in your harbor rides, and the seafarers, sitting safe on shore, like eager merchants count their treasures o'er. One gift they find, one strange and lovely thing, now doubly precious since it pleased a king. The right, my liege, is ancient as the lyre for bards to give to kings what kings admire. 'Tis mine to offer for Apollo's Sake, and since the gift is fitting, yours to take. To golden hands the golden pearl I bring, the ocean jewel to the island king. Honolulu, the 3rd of February, 1889. XXX, to Princess Kaiulani, written in April to Kaiulani in the April of her age, and at Waikiki, within easy walk of Kaiulani's banyan. When she comes to my land and her father's, and the rain beats upon the window, as I fear it will, let her look at this page, it will be like a weed gathered and pressed at home, and she will remember her own islands, and the shadow of the mighty tree, and she will hear the peacocks screaming in the dusk and the wind blowing in the palms, and she will think of her father sitting there alone. RLS. Forth from her land to mine she goes, the island maid, the island rose, light of heart and bright of face, the daughter of a double race. Her islands here, in southern sun, shall mourn their Kaiulani gone, and I, in her dear banyan shade, look vainly for my little maid. But our Scots islands far away shall glitter with unwonted day, and cast for once their tempests by to smile in Kaiulani's eye. Honolulu. XXXI. To Mother Mary Ann, to see the infinite pity of this place, the mangled limb, the devastated face, the innocent sufferer smiling at the rod, a fool were tempted to deny his God. He sees, he shrinks. But if he gaze again, lo, beauty springing from the breast of pain. He marks the sisters on the mournful shores, and even a fool is silent and adores. Guest House, Kalawao, Molokai. Xxxi, in memoriam H. I knew a silver head was bright beyond compare, I knew a queen of toil with a crown of silver hair. Garland of valor and sorrow, of beauty and renown, life, that honors the brave, crowned her himself with the crown. The beauties of youth are frail, but this was a jewel of age. Life, that delights in the brave, gave it himself for a gauge. Fair was the crown to behold, and beauty its poorest part, at once the scar of the wound and the order pinned on the heart. The beauties of man are frail, and the silver lies in the dust, and the queen that we call to mind sleeps with the brave and the just, sleeps with the weary at length, but, honored and ever fair, shines in the eye of the mind the crown of the silver hair. Honolulu. XXXII. To my wife, a fragment, long must elapse ere you behold again green forest frame the entry of the lane, the wild lane with the bramble and the briar, the year-old cart tracks perfect in the mire, the wayside smoke, perchance, the dwarfish huts, and ramblers donkey drinking from the ruts, long ere you trace how deviously it leads, back from man's chimneys and the bleating meads to the woodland shadow, to the sylvan hush, when but the brooklet chuckles in the brush, back from the sun and bustle of the vale to where the great voice of the nightingale fills all the forest like a single room, and all the banks smell of the golden broom, so wander on until the eve descends. And back returning to your fire-lit friends, you see the rosy sun, despoiled of light, hung, caught in thickets, like a schoolboy's kite. Here from the sea the unfruitful sun shall rise, bathe the bare deck and blind the unshielded eyes, the allotted hours aloft shall wheel in vain and in the unpregnant ocean plunge again. A salt of squalls that mock the watchful God, and pluck the bursting canvas from the yard, and senseless clamor of the calm, at night must mar your slumbers. By the plunging light, in beetle-haunted, most unwomanly bower of the wild swerving cabin, hour by hour. Schooner Equator. Xxiv. To my old familiars, do you remember, can we e'er forget, how, in the coiled perplexities of youth, in our wild climate, in our scowling town, we gloomed and shivered, sorrowed, sobbed and feared. The belching winter wind, the missile rain, the rare and welcome silence of the snows, the laggard morn, the haggard day, the night, the grimy spell of the nocturnal town, do you remember? Ah, could one forget? As when the fevered sick that all night long listed the wind in tone, and hear at last the ever-welcome voice of chanticleer sing in the bitter hour before the dawn, with sudden ardor, these desire the day, so sang in the gloom of youth the bird of hope, so we, exulting, hearkened and desired. For lo, as in the palace porch of life we huddled with chimeras, from within, how sweet to hear, the music swelled and fell, and through the breach of the revolving doors what dreams of splendor blinded us and fled. I have since then contended and rejoiced, amid the glories of the house of life profoundly entered, and the shrine beheld. Yet when the lamp from my expiring eyes shall dwindle and recede, the voice of love fall insignificant on my closing ears, what sound shall come but the old cry of the wind in our inclement city? What return but the image of the emptiness of youth, filled with the sound of footsteps and that voice of discontent and rapture and despair? So, as in darkness, from the magic lamp, the momentary pictures gleam and fade and perish, and the night resurges, these shall I remember, and then all forget. Apimama. XXXV. The tropics vanish, and meseems that I, from Hakkaside, from topmost Alamui, or steep Serra Ketan, dreaming gaze again. Far set in fields and woods, the town I see spring gallant from the shallows of her smoke, cragged, spired, and turreted, her virgin fort beflagged. About, on seaward drooping hills, new folds of city glitter. Last, the fourth wheel's ample waters set with sacred isles, and populous Fife smokes with a score of towns. There, on the sunny frontage of a hill, hard by the house of kings, repose the dead, my dead, the ready and the strong of word. Their works, the salt-encrusted, still survive, the sea bombards their founded towers, the night thrills pierced with their strong lamps. The artificers, one after one, here in this grated cell, where the rain erases, and the rust consumes, fell upon lasting silence. Continents and continental oceans intervene, a sea uncharted, on a lampless isle, environs and confines their wandering child in vain. The voice of generations dead summons me, sitting distant, to arise, my numerous footsteps nimbly to retrace, and, all mutation over, stretch me down in that denoted city of the dead. Apimama. XXXV. To SC. I heard the pulse of the besieging sea throb far away all night. I heard the wind fly crying and convulse tumultuous palms. I rose and strolled. The isle was all bright sand, and flailing fans and shadows of the palm, the heaven all moon and wind and the blind vault, the keenest planet slain, for Venus slept. The king, my neighbor, with his host of wives, slept in the precinct of the palisade, where single, in the wind, under the moon, among the slumbering cabins, blazed a fire, sole street lamp and the only sentinel. To other lands and nights my fancy turned, to London first, and chiefly to your house, the many-pillared and the well-beloved. Their yearning fancy lighted. There again in the upper room I lay, and heard far off the unsleeping city murmur like a shell. The muffled tramp of the museum guard once more went by me. I beheld again lamps vainly brighten the dispeopled street. Again I longed for the returning morn, the awaking traffic, the bestirring birds, the consentaneous trill of tiny song that weaves round monumental cornices a passing charm of beauty. Most of all, for your light foot I wearied, and your knock that was the glad reveille of my day. Lo, now, when to your task in the great house at morning through the portico you pass, one moment glance, where by the pillared wall far voyaging island gods, begrimed with smoke, sit now unworshipped, the rude monument of faiths forgot and races undivined, sit now disconsolate, remembering well the priest, the victim, and the songful crowd, the blaze of the blue noon, and that huge voice, incessant, of the breakers on the shore. As far as these from their ancestral shrine, so far, so foreign, your divided friends wander, estranged in body, not in mind. Apimama. Kskksei, the house of Tembinoka, at my departure from the island of Apimama, for which you will look in vain in most atlases, the king and I agreed, since we both set up to be in the poetical way, that we should celebrate our separation in verse. Whether or not His Majesty has been true to his bargain, the laggard posts of the Pacific may perhaps inform me in 6 months, perhaps not before a year. The following lines represent my part of the contract, and it is hoped, by their pictures of strange manners, they may entertain a civilized audience. Nothing throughout has been invented or exaggerated. The lady herein referred to as the author's muse has confined herself to stringing into rhyme facts or legends that I saw or heard during 2 months' residence upon the island. RLS. Envoy, let us, who part like brothers, part like bards, and you in your tongue and measure, I in mine, our now division duly solemnize. Unlike the strains, and yet the theme is one, the strains unlike, and how unlike their fate. You to the blinding palace yard shall call the prefect of the singers, and to him, listening devout, your valedictory verse deliver. He, his attribute fulfilled, to the island chorus hand your measures on, wed now with harmony, sow them, at last. Night after night, in the open hall of dance, shall 30 matted men, to the clapped hand, intone and bray and bark. Unfortunate! Paper and print alone shall honor mine. The song let now the king his ear arouse and toss the bosky ringlets from his brows, the while, our bond to implement, my muse relates and praises his descent. I bride of the shark, her valor first I sing who on the lone seas quickened of a king. She, from the shore and puny homes of men, beyond the climber's sea discerning ken, swam, led by omens, and devoid of fear, beheld her monstrous paramour draw near. She gazed, all round her to the heavenly pale, the simple sea was void of isle or sail, sole overhead the unsparing sun was reared, when the deep bubbled and the brute appeared. But she, secure in the decrees of fate, made strong her bosom and received the mate, and, men declare, from that marine embrace conceived the virtues of a stronger race. To her stern descendant next I praise, survivor of 1,000 frays, in the hall of tongues who ruled the throng, led and was trusted by the strong, and when spears were in the wood, like a tower of vantage stood, whom, not till 70 years had sped, unscarred of breast, erect of head, still light of step, still bright of look, the hunter, death, had overtook. 3 his sons, the brothers twain, I sing, of whom the elder reigned a king. No childeric he, yet much declined from his rude sire's imperious mind, until his day came when he died, he lived, he reigned, he versified. But chiefly him I celebrate that was the pillar of the state, ruled, wise of word and bold of mien, the peaceful and the warlike scene, and played alike the leader's part in lawful and unlawful art. His soldiers with emboldened ears heard him laugh among the spears. He could deduce from age to age the web of island parentage, best lay the rhyme, best lead the dance, for any festal circumstance, and fitly fashion oar and boat, a palace or an armor coat. None more availed than he to raise the strong, suffumigating blaze, or not the wizard leaf, none more, upon the untrodden windward shore of the isle, beside the beating main, to cure the sickly and constrain, with muttered words and waving rods, the gibbering and the whistling gods. But he, though thus with hand and head he ruled, commanded, charmed, and led, and thus in virtue and in might towered to contemporary sight, still in fraternal faith and love, remained below to reach above, gave and obeyed the apt command, pilot and vassal of the land. For might Embinik from men like these inherited his palaces, his right to rule, his powers of mind, his Cocoa Islands sea enshrined. Stern bearer of the sword and whip, a master past in mastership, he learned, without the spur of need, to write, to cipher, and to read, from all that touch on his prone shore augments his treasury of lore, eager in age as erst in youth to catch an art, to learn a truth, to paint on the internal page a clearer picture of the age. His age, you say? But not so. In his lone isle of long ago, a royal lady of Shalott, sea sundered, he beholds it not, he only hears it far away. The stress of equatorial day he suffers, he records the while the vapid annals of the isle, slaves bring him praise of his renown, or cackle of the palm tree town. The rarer ship and the rare boat he marks, and only hears remote, where thrones and fortunes rise and reel, the thunder of the turning wheel. For the unexpected tears he shed at my departing, may his lion head not whiten, his revolving years no fresh occasion minister of tears, at book or cards, at work or sport. Him may the breeze across the palace court forever fan, and swelling near forever the loud song divert his ear. Schooner Equator at sea. X8, the woodman in all the grove, nor stream nor bird nor aught beside my blows was heard, and the woods wore their noonday dress, the glory of their silentness. From the island's summit to the seas, trees mounted, and trees drooped, and trees groped upward in the gaps. The green enarbored talus and ravine by fathoms. By the multitude the rugged columns of the wood and bunches of the branches stood, thick as a mob, deep as a sea, and silent as eternity. With lowered axe, with backward head, late from this scene my laborer fled, and with a ravelled tale to tell, returned. Some denizen of hell, dead man or disinvested god, had close behind him peered and trod, and triumphed when he turned to flee. How different fell the lines with me, whose eye explored the dim arcade impatient of the oncoming shade, shy elf, or dryad pale and cold, or mystic lingerer from of old, vainly. The fair and stately things, impassive as departed kings, all still in the wood's stillness stood, and dumb. The rooted multitude nodded and brooded, bloomed and dreamed, unmeaning, undivined. It seemed no other art, no hope, they knew, than clutch the earth and seek the blue. Mid vegetable king and priest and stripling, I, the only beast, was at the beast's work, killing, hewed the stubborn roots across, bestrewed the glebe with the dislustered leaves, and bade the saplings fall in sheaves, bursting across the tangled math a ruin that I called a path, a Golgotha that, later on, when rains had watered, and suns shone, and seeds enriched the place, should bear and be called garden. Here and there, I spied and plucked by the green hair a foe more resolute to live, the toothed and killing sensitive. He, semi-conscious, fled the attack, he shrank and tucked his branches back, and straining by his anchor strand, captured and scratched the rooting hand. I saw him crouch, I felt him bite, and straight my eyes were touched with sight. I saw the wood for what it was, the lost and the victorious cause, the deadly battle pitched in line, saw silent weapons cross and shine, silent defeat, silent assault, a battle and a burial vault. Thick round me in the teeming mud briar and fern strove to the blood, the hooked liana in his gin noosed his reluctant neighbors in, there the green murderer throve and spread, upon his smothering victims fed, and wantoned on his climbing coil. Contending roots fought for the soil like frightened demons, with despair competing branches pushed for air. Green conquerors from overhead bestrode the bodies of their dead, the Caesars of the sylvan field, unused to fail, foredoomed to yield, for in the groins of branches, lo, the cancers of the orchid grow. Silent as in the listed ring two chartered wrestlers strain and cling, dumb as by yellow Hoogli's side the suffocating captives died, so hushed the woodland warfare goes unceasing, and the silent foes grapple and smother, strain and clasp without a cry, without a gasp. Hear also sound thy fans, O God, hear too thy banners move abroad, forest and city, sea and shore, and the whole earth, thy threshing floor. The drums of war, the drums of peace, roll through our cities without cease, and all the iron halls of life ring with the unremitting strife. The common lot we scarce perceive. Crowds perish, we nor mark nor grieve, the bugle calls, we mourn a few. What corporals guard at Waterloo? What scanty hundreds more or less in the man-devouring wilderness? What handful bled on Delhi Ridge? See, rather, London, on thy bridge the pale battalions trample by, resolved to slay, resigned to die. Count, rather, all the maimed and dead in the unbrotherly war of bread. See, rather, under sultrier skies what vegetable Londons rise, and teem, and suffer without sound, or in your tranquil garden ground, contented, in the falling gloom, saunter and see the roses bloom. That these might live, what thousands died. All day the cruel hoe was plied, the ambulant sparrow rolled all day. Your wife, the tender, kind, and gay, donned her long gauntlets, caught the spud, and bathed in vegetable blood, and the long massacre now at end. See where the lazy coils ascend, see where the bonfire sputters red at even, for the innocent dead. Why prate of peace, when, warriors all, we clank in harness into hall, and ever bare upon the board lies the necessary sword? In the green field or quiet street, besieged we sleep, beleaguered eat, labor by day and wake o' nights, in war with rival appetites. The rose on roses feeds, the lark on larks. The sedentary clerk all morning with a diligent pen murders the babes of other men, and like the beasts of wood and park, protects his whelps, defends his den. Unshamed the narrow aim I hold, I feed my sheep, patrol my fold, breathe war on wolves and rival flocks, a pious outlaw on the rocks of God and morning, and when time shall bow, or rivals break me, climb where no undubbed civilian dares, in my war harness, the loud stairs of honor, and my conqueror hail me a warrior fallen in war. Vailima. X6. Tropic rain as the single pang of the blow, when the metal is mingled well, rings and lives and resounds in all the bounds of the bell. So the thunder above spoke with a single tongue, so in the heart of the mountain the sound of it rumbled and clung. Sudden the thunder was drowned, quenched was the levee light, and the angel spirit of rain laughed out loud in the night. Loud as the maddened river raves in the cloven glen, angel of rain. You laughed and leaped on the roofs of men, and the sleepers sprang in their beds, and joyed and feared as you fell. You struck, and my cabin quailed, the roof of it roared like a bell. You spoke, and at once the mountain shouted and shook with brooks. You ceased, and the day returned, rosy, with virgin looks. And methought that beauty and terror are only one, not two, and the world has room for love, and death, and thunder, and dew, and all the sinews of hell slumber in summer air, and the face of God is a rock, but the face of the rock is fair. Beneficent streams of tears flow at the finger of pain, and out of the cloud that smites, beneficent rivers of rain. Vailima. XL. An end of travel, let now your soul in this substantial world some anchor strike. Be here the body moored, this spectacle immutably from now the picture in your eye, and when time strikes, and the green scene goes on the instant blind, the ultimate helpers, where your horse today conveyed you dreaming, bear your body dead. Vailima. XLI. We uncommiserate pass into the night from the loud banquet, and departing leave a tremor in men's memories, faint and sweet and frail as music. Features of our face, the tones of the voice, the touch of the loved hand, perish and vanish, one by one, from earth. Meanwhile, in the hall of song, the multitude applauds the new performer. Perchance, one ultimate survivor lingers on, and smiles, and to his ancient heart recalls the long forgotten. Ere the morrow die, he too, returning, through the curtain comes, and the new age forgets us and goes on. XLII sing me a song of a lad that is gone, say, could that lad be I? Merry of soul he sailed on a day over the sea to Skye. Mull was astern, rum on the port, egg on the starboard bow, glory of youth glowed in his soul, where is that glory now? Sing me a song of a lad that is gone, say, could that lad be I? Merry of soul he sailed on a day over the sea to Skye. Give me again all that was there, give me the sun that shone. Give me the eyes, give me the soul, give me the lad that's gone. Sing me a song of a lad that is gone, say, could that lad be I? Merry of soul he sailed on a day over the sea to Skye. Billow and breeze, islands and seas, mountains of rain and sun, all that was good, all that was fair, all that was me is gone. XLII, to S.R. Crockett, on receiving a dedication, blows the wind today, and the sun and the rain are flying, blows the wind on the moors today and now, where about the graves of the martyrs the harps are crying, my heart remembers how. Grey recumbent tombs of the dead in desert places, standing stones on the vacant wine-red moor, hills of sheep, and the howls of the silent vanished races, and winds, austere and pure, be it granted me to behold you again in dying, hills of home. And to hear again the call, hear about the graves of the martyrs the peewees crying, and hear no more at all. Vailima. Ksliv, even song the embers of the day are red beyond the murky hill. The kitchen smokes, the bed in the darkling house is spread, the great sky darkens overhead, and the great woods are shrill. So far have I been led, Lord, by thy will, so far I have followed, Lord, and wondered still. The breeze from the embalmed land blows sudden toward the shore, and claps my cottage door. I hear the signal, Lord, I understand. The night at thy command comes. I will eat and sleep and will not question more. Vailima. Footnotes, 44. This is the same Princess Mo whose charms of person and disposition have been recorded by the late Lord Pembroke in South Sea Bubbles, and by M.P. Loti in the Mariage de Loti. 45. The yacht Casco had been so called by the people of Fakarava in the Paumotus. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook Songs of Travel, and other verses updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works. So the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1 Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the Foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116, 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.